Hello, dear student. Myself, Dr. Surekha Jaiswal, Head Department of Physics, Moreshwar Arts, Science and Commerce College, Bhokardan, District Jalna. Today we will discuss about General Electronics, course code number PHY 205, paper number 11. Now, today's contents. See in chapter number 1, semiconductors. Now, see introduction, N type conductivity, P type conductivity, majority and minority carriers, p-n junction. Semiconductors are the materials for which electrical conductivity falls intermediate between that of conductor and insulators. Semiconductor conduct electricity better than insulator but not as good as conductors. Hence they are called semiconductor. Semiconductor material are responsible for the development of the field of electronic and communication engineering. Semiconductors are the material that are neither conductor nor insulator. Their electrical properties lie between those of conductor and insulator. Isolated atom of semiconductor like germanium or silicon have 4 electrons in its outer orbit. The number of electrons in the valence orbit is the key to conductivity. All semiconductors have crystallized structure. Most widely used semiconductor material are silicon and germanium. Semiconductors are of two types, intrinsic and extrinsic. An intrinsic semiconductor is a pure semiconductor. At the room temperature, electron-hole pairs are created when external electric field is applied across an intrinsic semiconductor. Small amount of current flows due to the electron and holes. Under the influence of electric field, total current through the semiconductor is the sum of current due to free electron and holes. Pure semiconductors are of relatively less importance, whereas extrinsic semiconductors are widely used in fabricating devices. These devices are more generally known as semiconductor devices or also known as solid state devices. Due to the poor conduction at room temperature, the semiconductor as such is not useful in the electronic devices. The current conduction capability can be increased by adding a small amount of impurity to the intrinsic semiconductor so that it becomes impure or extrinsic semiconductor. The process of adding impurity is known as doping. Depends upon doping material, one can get either P type or N type semiconductor. When small amount of pentavalent impurity such as arsenic, antimony or phosphorus is added to the pure semiconductor, we get N-type semiconductor. How you obtain N-type semiconductor? When small amount of pentavalent impurity such as arsenic, antimony or phosphorus is added to the pure semiconductor, we get N-type semiconductor. In these materials, electrons are majority carriers and holes are minority carriers. When small amount of trivalent impurities such as aluminum or boron is added to the pure semiconductor, then it becomes p-type semiconductor. In p-type semiconductor, majority carriers are holes, while minority carriers are electrons. P-type and N-type semiconductor can be combined by doping to give rise to very important basic device called p-n junction diode. Other useful devices are BJT, FET, UJT, TAC and DAC, etc. First we will study basic semiconductor device, that is p-n junction diode. Now N-type conductivity. See, the current conduction in an N-type semiconductor is predominantly by free electron, that is negative charges, and is called N-type or electron type conductivity. To understand N-type conductivity, see in figure. Now, when potential difference is applied across the N-type semiconductor, the free electrons in the crystal will be directed towards the positive terminal. See here, that free electrons, that is shown by this, that is a free electron, and here positively charged impurity atom, that is N-type semiconductor material. Now here, when PD is potential difference is applied across the N-type semiconductor as shown in figure, the free electrons in the crystal, see, these are here shown by this, will be directed towards the positive terminal. See, that is positive and negative. So that directed towards the positive terminal constitute electric current. As the current flow through the crystal is by free electrons which are carriers of negative charge. Therefore, this type of conductivity is called negative or N-type conductivity. It may be noted that conduction is just as in ordinary metal like copper. In N-type semiconductor, when a small amount of pentavalent impurity is added to a pure semiconductor, it is known as N-type semiconductor. Now this figure shows the energy band description of n-type semiconductor. The addition of pentavalent impurity was produce a number of conduction band electrons, that is free electrons. Now seen that in figure, that is a conduction bands. Here there are free electrons and that is a valence band as shown in figure. The four valence electron of pentavalent atom form covalent bonds with four neighboring germanium atoms. The fifth left over valence electron of the pentavalent atom cannot be accommodated in the valence band and travels to the conduction band. Now see p-type conductivity. Figure shows the energy band description of the p-type semiconductor. The addition of trivalent impurity has produced a large number of holes. However, there are a few conduction band electrons due to the thermal energy associated with room temperature, but the holes are outnumber the conduction band electrons. It is due to the predominance of holes over free electron that is called p-type semiconductor. When a small amount of trivalent impurity is added to a pure semiconductor, it is called p-type semiconductor. The current conduction in p-type semiconductor is predominantly by holes, seen figure. That is positive charges and is called p-type or hole type conductivity. To understand p-type conductivity, see in figure, when potential difference is applied to the p-type semiconductor, the holes are shifted from one covalent band to another. As the holes are positively charged, therefore they are directed towards the negative terminal, constituting what is known as hole current. It may be noted that in p-type conductivity, the valence electron move from one covalent bond to another, unlike the n-type, where current conduction is by free electron. Now see majority and minority carriers. It may be already discussed that due to the effect of impurity, n-type material has a large number of free electrons, whereas p-type material has a large number of holes. However, it may be recalled that even at room temperature, some of the covalent bonds break, thus releasing an equal number of free electrons and holes. And n-type material has its share of electron-hole pairs, but in addition has a much larger quantity of free electrons due to the effect of impurity. These impurity cause free electrons are not associated with holes. Consequently, an n-type material has a large number of free electrons and a small number of holes as shown in figure. See in figure. First, that is a in n-type material, semiconductor material, majority carriers are free electrons. See that dark circle is indicate here free electrons as shown in figure, and here minority carriers in n-type material, that is a holes, that is indicated in figure here. The free electron in this case are considered majority carrier, since the majority portion of current in n-type material is by the flow of free electron, and the holes are minority carriers as shown in figure first. Similarly, in p-type material, holes outnumber the free electrons as shown in figure. Now therefore, holes are the majority carriers in p-type material, and free electrons are the seen figure. Free electrons as shown in figure are the minority carriers. Now see p-n junction. p-n junction is formed by doping a single piece of semiconductor with donor impurity at one end and acceptor impurity at the other end. As soon as junction is formed, the following process takes place. See in figure here. The holes from p region, see in figure, that is p region. The holes from p region diffuse into the n region where they combine with hole. Now, what happened in p-n junction? The holes from p region diffuse into the n region where they are combined with electrons. See that dark circle are here in the n-type material, that is a here that denoted by these electrons. So as soon as junction is formed, the process takes place. The holes from p region diffuse into the n region where they combine with electrons, and the free electron from n region, seen figure, diffuse into the p region where they combine with hole, and the diffusion of holes and electrons across the junction takes place and space charge region or depletion layer is formed. This migration is stopped when enough potential barrier is developed. Now see depletion layer and potential barrier. The region containing the uncovered or uncompensated acceptor and donor ions in the vicinity of junction is called depletion layer. The width of depletion region depends upon the doping level of impurity. Higher the doping level, thinner will be the depletion layer, and vice versa. The width of depletion region is of the order of 10 raised to minus 4 centimeter, that is 10 raised to minus 6 meter, that is 1 micron. Now in diode, P region has hole as majority charge carriers. See in figure, The in p-type region has holes as that shown in figure, that circle are the holes are the majority carrier and negatively charged impurity ion. See, that is here shown by this. The region has free electron. See, in n region, n type region, what is, there are free electrons as majority charged carriers and positively charged impurity ions as shown in figure. Holes and electrons are the mobile charges, but the ions are immobile. The sample as a whole is electrically neutral. The n-type material has high concentration of free electrons, while p-type material has a high concentration of holes. Because holes and electrons are close together at the junction, there is tendency for the free electron to diffuse over the p side and holes to the n side. This process is called diffusion. As the free electron move across the junction from n type to p type, positive donor ion are uncovered, and that is, they are robbed of free electron. Hence, a positive charge is built on the n side of the junction. At the same time, the free hole across the junction uncover the negative acceptor ion by filling in the holes, and therefore a negative charge is established on p side of the junction. Now, see in figure, when a sufficient number of donor and acceptor ion is uncovered, further diffusion is prevented, and this is because positive charge on n side, see here in figure, positive charge on n side here repels holes to cross from p type to n type, and negative charge on p side repel from free electron to enter from n type to p type, and this diffusion of holes and free electron across the junction, see here, occurs for a very short time. Thus, a barrier is set up against further movement of charge carriers, that is holes and electrons, as shown in figure. Now, the electric field between the acceptor and donor ion is called a potential barrier. Outside the potential barrier on each side of the junction, the material is neutral. Only inside the barrier there is positive charge on n side. See in figure, positive charge on n side and negative charge on p side. This region is called depletion region, as shown in figure. That region is called depletion layer or region, because the mobile charge carriers have been depleted in this region. Since this region has immobile ions which are electrically charged, and it is also referred as the space charge region. potential barrier. When deflection layer is formed, there are positive immobile ion in n-type region and negative immobile ion in p-type region. Due to this charge separation, a voltage V0 is developed across the junction under equilibrium condition. This voltage is known as junction voltage or potential barrier. Thank you.